The pen felt like a lead weight, and Arya's hand outside the world was a postcard of Christmas perfection, winkle lights and soft. Carol's bit inside this roommate was a massacre of the hardest, the silk-clad elite of the estate sipped vintage champagne. And whispered behind their hands, Arya, did the unthinkable sign the divorce papers, right? There in the middle of the party to them, she was just a nobody who had failed to keep her husband's Heiress woman, losing her ticket to the high life. But what if I told you that every person laughing in that room was about to face the shock of a lifetime, 'cause Arya wasn't losing her status, was about to reclaim a throne they couldn't even imagine you welcome to Lanja tell us before we reveal the moment. The laughter turned to stone if you believe that true love and dignity are worth more than a bank account. That like button and subscribe to use it helps us keep these stories of hope alive. Tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? Tonight for years, Arya had played the part of the quiet, dutiful wife-ish. Had it married for a namish, had married for a dream of a home and a hand to hold. Gave up her own brilliance to be his patiently, to find that in this world peace was mistaken for weakness. Tonight, the cruelty reached a fever pitcher. Husband didn't just want a divorce, wanted a spectacle. Wanted her to sign the papers surrounded by the very people who looked down on her. Just sign it, Arya. He whispered, his eyes cold. Go back to the nothingness you came from. The room grew silent. Shits feel their pitch. It felt like needles against her skin. Saw a woman with a gray coat and a broken hearthy. Didn't see the woman who 10 years ago walked away from $1 billion empire just to see if someone could love her for who she wasn't, not her father's. Shadow as the ink dried, a strange silence fell over the foyer. Heavy oak doors swung open, letting in a gust of winter air. 3 men entered. They didn't have invitations, but they didn't need them. At the center was a man whose face was known in every boardroom from New York to London. Malcolm Whitmer. A room gasped at the husband stepped forward, his ego swelling. Whitmore, we didn't expect such an honor. But Malcolm didn't even look at him and walked straight past the diamonds and the greed's eyes locked on the woman in the gray. Koth reached off his hand, trembling with a father's suppressed rage and overflowing love, and placed it gently on Arya's shoulder. Are you ready to come home, princess? He asked, at his voice booming through the silence. Jet is waiting, and so is your seat at the head of the companion. Silence that followed was deafening. Husband's face turned a ghostly shade of white. The people who had mocked her were suddenly suffocating on their own words. Arya didn't gloat, didn't scream. She simply stood tall, looked her father in the eye, and smiled. For the first time in years, had learned the hardest lesson of value. Cannot find true love in a place that only values what you have and not who you are. She walked out into the crisp Christmas night. The lights didn't look like cold decorations anymore. They looked like stars guiding her to a new beginning. If Arya's strength moved you today, please share this video with someone who feels overlooked. Subscribe to Lanja Tales for more stories that prove the heart always wins. Before you go, comment one word that describes how you feel right. Nor remember, the quietest tears often lead to the most powerful chapters.